The Sennheiser Accentum True Wireless. The good, the bad, and the what the f***. Namaste, we're DHRME, directing happiness regarding momentous event. It's finally here, guys, the mid-range of the Sennheiser True Wireless collection, the Accentum True Wireless. Let's get into it. Well, we'll come to whether these are momentous like the Momentums in just a bit, but let's start with an Accentum on the price. These are priced at 199 euros or dollars. Noise cancelling and transparency.
Now, noise cancelling on the Accentums is impressive. We thought that this would be a place where Sennheiser would cut corners, and don't get us wrong, these don't quite achieve that S-tier noise cancelling or transparency that the Momentum 4s it, but we were quite happy with the amount of amplification or attenuation that these use. I could easily use this for a conversation, I think, and for noise cancelling, yeah, I would be happy in a flight with these. In fact, we really struggle to hear a difference between the two. What about you? Why don't you listen for yourself and see if enough noise is cancelled? Merch links in the description.
I was cycling about, as we do in the Netherlands, and the wind was really audible. And I was in transparency mode on high, and I could really hear it, and I wasn't enjoying my music. So what I did was I went into the app and I checked for wind reduction mode, and yes, there was one for noise cancelling. So I turned on noise cancelling and put it in wind noise. But what happened was that it really suppressed all the background noise. Yes, the wind was gone, but a lot of the noises that would keep me safe in traffic were also gone. So I'm not exactly sure how this would help someone if they were walking, running, or cycling outside. So I immediately turned that off. What did work though was putting it back on transparency, but instead of putting it on the high transparency mode, I put it on mid or low, and that did the trick reasonably well. Now let's talk about the build and design. We're very happy to see that Sennheiser went for a new design here. They don't look anything like the Momentum series. The buds themselves have more of a Bose Ultra kind of look. They're a bit oval shaped and they fit nicely in the concha, but we'll get to comfort in a little bit. The buds themselves are available in black and white, and we obviously have the black here. The buds are IP54 rated, but there's no IP rating on the case. But still a strong IP rating, guys, both dust and water resistance on the buds. So no issues working out and sweating all you want in these buds. And the way you control the buds is with touch controls, which are luckily customizable in the app. So you can customize things for how you play back media, so what you want your taps to be for play pause, track control, etc. But you can also adjust volume, for example, on the buds, as well as calling up voice assistant, how you want to adjust the noise cancelling and toggle to transparency mode as well. And Sennheiser gives you a separate set of controls for phone calls. Here, have a listen to some popsicles, icicles, and test.
Alright guys, this is how the Sennheiser Accentum True Wireless sounds with wind, and I'm generating that on a bike right now. Let me not die at this crossing first. Alright, all good. So, pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. What do you guys think? Are you able to follow what I'm saying? Because I am able to hear the wind quite clearly through my earbuds. It's not exactly nice, but I wonder if you're able to hear my voice and it's able to do something to reduce the wind noise. But yeah, let us know what you think, and also about the noisy test. Thanks guys.
Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3.
In the noisy as well as windy conditions, Sennheiser, take a bow. We're very happy with the calling situation. We haven't used these for very long, but just that wind performance when Kevin was on the bike, he wasn't even on a regular bike, but an e-bike. And even then the wind wasn't a problem. It's probably twice the speed of a normal bike. And in the simulated cafe sounds at about 72 dB peak volume, you can clearly see that my voice was in focus throughout. I actually did a test before that at a lower volume, and then I thought maybe it's the volume is too low, so I bumped it up. And when I spoke quieter, okay, it did kind of cut out, but still, color me impressed. And of course, you get all the Sennheiser goodies with this. If you're a Fachmann, you'll be very happy. You get an auto accept call feature. If you just put the buzz in your ear, the call gets answered. You get mute, you get volume controls. So this is a complete Fachmann set of buds, guys.
And like we said, we're very happy with this new design that Sennheiser has gone for. This oval shape really, it kind of sits in your concha nicely. And even though there are round silicone tips, of which you get 4 in the box, you would expect the fit to be really good, but the comfort not to be great. But in the short time that I've used it, it actually ticked the box on both fronts for me. They were securely fit in my ears, but they were also very comfortable.
In terms of codecs, you get the basic SBC and you also get AAC, which is handy for you iPhone users out there. And the corner that Sennheiser has cut is that you don't get aptX adaptive like you do on the Momentum, but aptX. We'll touch upon why that is not such a big deal in a little bit, but you also get LE audio and Auracast capabilities. Now in terms of hardware, you get a 7mm dynamic driver as is Sennheiser's way. You also get a 5-band equalizer and the sound check feature, which is kind of the older version of the sound test. The newer version is on the Momentum 4. But I actually preferred the older version. I said this as much before in our videos, because you can actually listen to your own music and kind of tweak the sound. But it is what it is. This is not the test that you get on the newer Momentum series. But all that is fine. You ask, how do these sound? Well, to start off with, take a look at this graph and tell me what you think. Pause the video for a second if you want. And now, this is the overlay with the Momentum 4. As you can see, the difference isn't huge, and I might kind of prefer these to the Momentum. And you're obviously getting a higher quality codec on the Momentum, but a couple of things here. One, there seems to be no EQ shift between the two modes, so Sennheiser seems to have fixed that. ANC and normal, well, even if there is, it's a very small difference, which means you're getting a more consistent sound experience whether or not you're using noise cancelling. And two, these support aptX, which is a lower res codec. But here's the thing, there are way more aptX devices out there than aptX lossless. So for most folks running Android or Windows, you will probably get the most out of these as against the Momentum. For example, I have the Galaxy Fold 5 here, which I love this phone, but both the Momentum 4 and the Accentum use exactly the same codec with this. Why? Because this does not support aptX lossless or Snapdragon sound. Now for using it, you have to get something like, this Asus Zenfone 9. And of course, there are more phones out there, but just in terms of most folks have to buy a special phone to make the best of the Momentum. Now, I do prefer the slightly more open sound on the Momentum, but it isn't life-changing, and before long, my brain EQ easily adjusted to that. I love Sennheiser's sound, especially their timbre, and that is maintained with the Accentum as well.
Okay, how does the juice situation look like?
Now, the advertised battery life is 8 hours from the buds and 20 hours from the case, and this is the battery life that we got from our test with ANC on.
There's also wireless charging on board, which is a nice addition for mid-range. And it takes approximately 1.5 hours to charge these buds from 0 to full. And there's also quick charge support, so plugging it in for 10 minutes will give you about an hour of music playtime. And a couple of extra features you get is an in-ear sensor, which you can turn on and off if you like. And there's also multi-point with a device list in the app. At $200, guys, these are really competing with the likes of, for example, the Sony LinkBuds S and a couple of others that you might want to know about as well. So you probably have a ton of questions, so leave them down below because we want to answer them in the next video. So let us know what you want to know about the Accentum True Wireless from Sennheiser. And again, a special thanks to you guys, our patrons and members, for keeping us going. Thanks a bunch for your support, and a special thanks goes out to our Fuckmontier, Gamma Panda, Paula, and Radioactive Iguana Dude. You guys are extra special. You've been understanding our Accentums.
And we've been DHRME. Dewey.
Dewey. Here, have a listen to some popsicles, icicles, and testing of the microphones on these Sennheisers. What do you think we were going to say?